Shalom, Koholo, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Kakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, as well as the elders that came before them that taught us His truth. And shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word and truth and the sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. Shalom and salutations to all the Aquath out there listening and learning. I'm the brother Yahshua. I'm back with the WW3 Daily Update. Shalom and salutation to all that have tuned in. All right, so we'll try to keep this short and sweet and to the point. I'm going to let Skeletor bring us up to date. His first sentence is scathing. All right, so I can bear with me for a moment. All right. I'm going to start right here, Revelation 11. And this great earthquake here is the end of the world as we know it. Okay. This great earthquake are 200 million missiles, right, going off at the same time, all around the world. Mostly in Babylon the Great. At the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. All right. If I pull up FEMA regions, you're going to get 10. If I pull up zip codes, you're going to get 10. So this is describing North America. Okay. All 10 parts of the city. The entire North American continent will be on fire. Okay. And in the earthquake were slain of men, telling you how many people are going to die. 7,000. The number 7 represents completion. Okay, so this means everyone, right, on the North American continent got burned up if you didn't, what? Ascend up to heaven in a cloud. That's a different story. This is the culmination of World War III. Okay, those nuclear missiles all hitting 200 million, right? 200 million. Probably won't come up. Revelation 9 and 16. And the number of the army of horsemen, right? The elder apostle Tahar did a video earlier today on the army being the missiles. Were 200,000. And I heard the number of them. If you read it up here in the NLT, I heard the size of their army, which was 200 million mounted troops, right? If we go here, let me see, we're going to watch that. Let's see. So lucky, bear with me. I'll just use this. All right. The elder apostle Tahar did a video right here. The armies in Isaiah chapter 13 are the ICBMs. Okay. Well, let's look at it. Isaiah what? 3? Did he say? 13. Isaiah 13. Let's look at the army. Judgment against Babylon. All the way down, okay? Right here. Isaiah 13 and 4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains like as of a great people, tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host, the army of the battle. Okay, let's get that. Let's get that word army. army for war. The Lord Almighty is mustering an army for war. Yahweh Shem Yahushai of heaven's armies has called together this army, has called this army together. What is this army? The Lord of hosts is mustering a host. The Lord of armies is mustering an army for battle. What army? The Lord of hosts is mobilizing an army for war. What army is that? Well, the elder apostle told you. Okay? That these are the missiles. They come from a far country, even, Salakia, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. That army is talking about the missiles. He taught us this, right? Double honors to the elder apostles. All right, so where are we? And I heard the size of their army, line upon line, precept upon precept, which was 200 million mounted troops. What is that? That's those missiles. All right. That's those missiles. And if you read down from here, it'll describe those missiles. All right. Anyway, where are we going? We were going to Skeletor. Take it away, Skeletor. Salakia. We'll read the captions here. 2 hours ago, full spectrum survival featuring Skeletor. Breaking news, Putin attack confirmed. What are we talking about? The build up to World War III. Troops deployed to Poland. NATO moving in. We're going to listen to his first words and try to let that marinate, what he's about to say. Going straight into those missiles.
Going to happen here. We're now seeing signs that...
What signs are we seeing?
What did they think was going to happen here? We're now seeing signs that NATO is preparing for a nuclear conflict against Russia.
Woo! What? What did they think was going to happen here? Here come 200 million missiles. Okay, in real time. We're reading the scriptures with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, breaking them down, right? Because of what we learned from our elder apostles, right? On down in GMS, right? And this in real time, right? We've been pushing this word, some of us for 16 years, some of us for 25 years, some of us for 35, going on 40. And today, a couple of hours ago, how many hours ago is this? 2 hours ago, this guy is saying this. You put that together and tell me what it means.
What did they think was going to happen here? We're now seeing signs that NATO is preparing for a nuclear conflict against Russia. We have Germany getting ready with their chemical, biological, and nuclear weapons units, preparing for the eventuality, in some cases, that Russia and this conflict between the West and the East will end in a nuclear annihilation of one or more nations that could send the military leaders and government bodies of our planet into deep underground bunkers ready to prepare for the apocalypse.
You hear that? Sounds like he's reading from the Bible. Apocalypse, deep underground, right? Let's get that real quick. Hid themselves. And the kings of the earth, men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. Read it here. Then everyone, the kings of the earth, the rulers, the generals, the wealthy, the powerful, and every slave and free person, all hid themselves in the caves and among the rocks of the mountains. Okay? Now, back this up and see what he said again.
Between the West and the East will end in a nuclear annihilation of one or more nations that could send the military leaders and government bodies of our planet into deep underground bunkers ready to prepare for the apocalypse.
So, this Bible's not playing. All right? If you want to know what a UFO is, go to my last video, the one before this one. You want to know the part that the UFOs play in this situation? All right? Go to my last video. They play an integral part, all right, of what is going on in these last days. That's why these devils are trying to hide it. Anyway, we do know that the world as we know it today and the rulership of the world as we know it today will be destroyed by those nuclear missiles. Take it away, Skeletor. I'm going to let you talk now.
NATO will defend members from the threat of Wagner forces in Belarus. Secretary General Stoltenberg says that the military alliance is preparing now to protect members from threats either from Moscow or Minsk. The NATO Secretary General has said that all of the Western military alliance is united and ready to defend all allied nations against any threat that will be posed by the moves of Russia's mercenary forces in Belarus or inside of Russia. They say that there are concerns that a relocation of this private army will create instability and terrorist activity in Poland and other bordering nations. The boss to the mercenary group is reported to have already been inside of Belarus preparing large encampments under a deal that was negotiated by Lukashenko, which is the president of Belarus, and Russia. They say this was the deal that narrowly escaped Russia's President Putin from being removed from power. If Wagner deploys its serial killers, says Stoltenberg and other leaders, inside of Belarus, all neighboring countries face an even larger danger of instability. This is the Lithuanian president right out here calling the mercenary group a serial killer under the guise of a mercenary group that will be used by Russia and by Belarus. Now, at a meeting with NATO's Stoltenberg and different government leaders from different allied nations, the Polish president, at a press conference with leaders, reported that this is very concerning and extremely serious. We have to make very strong decisions, they say, speaking of what we're going to see in the next couple of weeks. Now, I'm sure that you know the types of decisions that they're going to be making are the ones that are really going to begin to affect us. The ones that we start to see an escalation in this war, pretty much unlike anything that we have seen so far. They are ready to use nuclear weapons. They have already prepared biological weapons.
200 million nukes, says the Bible.
There are some reports coming out right now, even from major reporting outlets like CNBC and a couple of others, that their readiness to deploy a biological attack against enemy nations is in a position that could annihilate a lot of our planet. They say every ally, every inch of NATO territory must be protected against the threats from Russia and from Belarus. We have already increased our military presence, says Stoltenberg, especially in the eastern part of our alliance. We will make further decisions to strengthen our collective defense with more readiness forces and more capabilities in the
Wow, how about that war news, huh? More. War.
capabilities in the coming weeks. Now, you saw the Wagner leader basically go into hiding. He waved to well wishers from a vehicle recently, and then he was gone. On Tuesday, a private jet that was believed to be belonging to him flew from an Air Force base over to the Belarusian capital. Amid the fallout from what happened, the Russian president and their supporters have insisted that Putin's rule has not been weakened. Now you're starting to see a lot of propaganda in Western media saying that Putin is out, he's on his way out. There's even deep fakes, there's artificial intelligence, there's AI written pieces, all saying that the Russian military is falling apart. Some of them are saying, look with these images that the Russian military is, mutinizing against the leadership. Maybe it's believable, maybe it isn't. We
Propaganda is part of war.
have to take everything that we see and hear now in this day of technology with a grain of salt, because even back in the early 1900s, the propaganda machine ran so smoothly, it was so strong, and you can do this. You can creatively craft an image, write together with it a paragraph, a couple of paragraphs, and you could take what would be an innocuous image and you can turn it into something that would drive countries to war.
Remember those blow up balloons for D-Day in World War II? It made it look like they had all of those troops and all of those tanks. Well, this is that on steroids. Right? What about Blue Beam that's supposed to be coming up? Don't be distracted by just the war. All right, we're in a great time of celestial upheaval. All right, and things will be set straight on the earth again. Anyway, this guy is clearly, today, he's clearly describing the situation for World War III. And nobody can act as though they don't understand what time we're in. We'll close on that. All right? You don't understand what time we're in? AS. 3, yeah. Spell it right? Good enough. Ecclesiastes 3 and 1. What time are we in? To everything there is a season. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Turn, turn, turn. Jump down to 8, a time to love and a time to hate. What? There's actually a time to hate? Well, it says it right there in the Bible. Who are you going to, well, you can't hate. Who are you going to believe? The words of God, or are you going to believe this devil over here who hates the shit out of you, telling you not to hate? A time of war. You mean there's a time of war? He just broke it down. What time are we in? You better wake your ass up. And a time of peace. Are we in the time of peace? Listen to Skeletor. Full spectrum survival 2 hours ago. Breaking news, Putin attack confirmed. Watch this whole thing. It's only 16 minutes. And you tell me whether we're in a time of peace or war. Okay? We're in a time of that time. Right? And we're in this time. Okay? And it's clear. And this is only it's going to get so bad out here, I dare anybody to try to say. Right? You can't have peace until you go through war. You can't make it to heaven until you first go through hell. All right? Anyway, we'll end it right there. Yeah. This thing is it's about to expand. What did Nate say? Nate was a little off kilter, so I forewent him. Let's see. yesterday. Where you at, Nate? It's a lock. Yeah, we might have to go to the channel. Where is he? Yep. Canary Pepper out. Canary Pepper out. Let's see. Nate says, what does he say? World War III escalation. Where's this thing going? 14 hours ago, Nate says, 14, it's been 14 days and I don't know when. 14 days until big World War III surprise, France state of emergency East Coast smoke hazard. Does this sound like peace to you? World War III is going to escalate in 14 days. You know what I mean. We'll end it right here. Keep your eyes open. We're going in. All right. We hope that the elect were edified, you brothers and few sisters, with that. Shalom.